Hello tribe, welcome to my channel. So I'm gonna go over today why I named the channel In the Realms of Pseudo, and it's actually quite interesting. We are actually on this channel gonna be in search of the truth, no fake theories. In the interim, we might come across certain theories that were not entirely true, but we are going to pick and choose so that we can get to the truth. And we're going to discuss it amongst ourselves. And I call us the Cray Cray tribe, by the way. So first things first, I need you to subscribe. I don't care about liking. I need you to subscribe. I do not want to lose you in the YouTube algorithm. It's not even difficult. It's plain and simple. So I'm going to attempt to stick to my outline, and this is why. Not really even going off of an outline. It's just a few things. I have so many ideas. My mind is like a spider web. It can go off into like multiple directions. So I'm gonna stick with one. Why I named the channel In the Realms of Pseudo. So pseudo. Pseudo is usually accompanied by the word science, as in pseudoscience. And people tend to think it means always fake science. At least that is the rep that pseudoscience has gotten. I named the channel In the Realms of Pseudo because when you speculate, you're like in the realms of speculation. You're like on the verge of finding the truth. And I'm going to give you an example. There were many experiments that were done many years ago that were categorized as pseudoscience. And many of them were rendered as quack science or quack theories or quack experiments. And I'm going to give you an example. And while I'm giving you these examples, and the main example that you probably have heard of, it's actually one of the front photos on, like if you Google pseudoscience, one of the main photos you see on the books that pop up, like on wherever, Amazon or Google or in the library, from what I've seen more than once, you see a person or you see like a science experiment with electricity, or a person, I saw a person like on a table kind of like this with things hooked up to him and on his hands, and they were going to electrocute him. And one of the pseudo science experiments from a long time ago, a quack experiment, it really was a quack, and we're going to explain it all. They were attempting to see if the human being can conduct electricity. And some quack doctor, and see this, my mind is going off on another, we're going to come back to quack doctors. A lot of these quack doctors, behind the scenes, have made strides in their research. Some of them were quite, I dare say, I'm gonna say freaking horrific and demonic. Like some of these horror movies, like Saw 2. Where do you think some of these things came from? There were doctors who were experimenting years and years and years ago. And sometimes their research was saved into the research that we have today. How do you think transplants in today's day and age, which have saved lives, who was the first transplant ever? You do the research. Where did they get that crazy idea from? So at some point, someone would have called that quack science, pseudoscience, but lo and behold, human part transplants save an untold number of lives every year. So I didn't even mean to go off. That's what I mean by my mind is like a spider web. It went off on that some of the quack experiments were successful. Like, do your research. I didn't mean to go down that. I meant to stick with the number one. Yeah, I'm in the woods. I gotta tell you where I'm at in a second. I'm sitting on a blanket in the woods. The woods are behind me and I don't want to mess my phone up. I have it like quite rigged. It's on my book bag and my jean jacket, and it's just propped up on my jean jacket because I was gonna write. I was gonna actually try to use one of my videos that I just recorded this week as the explanation for what the name of the channel means. And then today was such a gorgeous day. I was like, I need to go sit in the sun before I go home. I finished cleaning. It's my day off. And I needed to write. I had to write some things. I got a few projects going on other than this channel. Yeah. Anyhow, Yeah, so yeah, I'm in the woods. So the first experiment that you might see in regards to one of them that's quite representative of pseudoscience is that person hooked up to electricity and sitting there on the table and like with the thing on his head. So shooting people with electricity, you could consider that pseudoscience. It's quack science. A human should never be shot with electricity. There's no reason for it. But what were they after? They were after the idea that a human being could conduct a certain amount of electricity. And were they right? Now, in today's age, I'm stretching, ignore me, slightly stretching. In today's day and age, with the strides in information and technology and research, it has become understood that the human being and the brain does emit and conduct a certain amount of electricity. It is a proven fact. We also emit and conduct a certain amount of energy. And it's funny how all these scientific words come into play. One of my favorites is the law of attraction. Have you heard of it? Yes, you have. But again, what they have found out in terms of the law of attraction, they have just scratched the surface of what they know. I love Joe Dispenza. He is a doctor. He speaks about neuroscience and the tests and what the research has shown, proven scientific tests have shown. And we emit energy, physical energy. We can absorb each other's energy. If we're not careful, we can absorb negative energy. So my point was this, and that was, see, this is where my brain goes off. There are many scientific terms that can be applied in science that can be applied to humans as well. I'm going to just attempt to name some. Charge, polarity, attraction, positive, negative. We say in magnets, there's positive and negative, correct? But what about us, emotions? We have positive, we have negative emotions. In music, don't we use the words frequency, vibration? We're using those words too with the law of attraction. Frequency, what frequency are you on? What vibration are you on? Are you high vibe, low vibe? Is your vibe low? I mean, all of those things, depending on the vibe that you are on, we attract like types of energy. And I'm going to repeat one of Joe Dispenza's words. I don't know if he coined them originally or if they were coined somewhere else. Again, I don't know how far back studies on the law of attraction goes, but it goes like this with the law of attraction. You don't get what you want. Okay? You don't get what you want, you get what you are. Or maybe it goes this way. I think I paraphrased it. You don't get what you want. Yeah. You get what you are. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. Hey, I'm okay with that. Because I've gone and had to do my work. I've had to do my own self-work. Just like a lot of people, they have to go down their own journey and do their work. But this is the thing. Depending what your background is, if you haven't started the leap into doing your own work and research, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. I always say this about the truth. The truth, when you find it, it's 1,000 times better than what you already thought. Don't worry about it. So the natural order of the way things are supposed to work are wonderful. And that is the given, like in an algebraic equation. If you know math, if you've ever done algebra, do you remember, even if you hate algebra, just stick with me on this. Let's say you had an even kindergarten formula. A plus 1 equals 3. What is A? A plus 1 equals 3. I don't know if my phone is recording backwards. A plus 1 equals 3. So then what is A? So A is Or, okay, let me tell you what the given is. If they go like this, A plus B equals 3, and B equals 1. B is the given. When you have the given, you can solve the rest of the equation. You can solve the rest of the example. So certain things in our, I want to say, human consciousness, but there's a better word for it, and I'm going to make a video on this too. I don't believe humans tap into an all-knowing consciousness where we all have the same memories from our ancestors. I don't believe that. But there is something, collective consciousness, that's the word. Carl Jung talked about a collective consciousness. I do believe that there is something to that theory of the collective consciousness, or the collective conscious, whatever. I do think that there are things embedded in us, there are things inherent to us, and there are things that we inherently know, and there are things that we come to inherently know as a society. They are almost like the given. It's almost like a herd mentality, and that is used in law, a herd mentality. It can have a very, very, very negative connotation behind it. And psychologists and psychopaths that try to control the masses, and Carl Jung wrote a book about this too, about individuation. We need to have our own individual identity and ideas and thinking process. We cannot become part of the herd, because then herd mentality can come into play. So my point is this, and that it can be used for bad. It's like you jump on the bandwagon. Like, this is what you see when it comes to the protests. Is that a tick on my shoe? Sure is. Clearly, I'm in Tick City. Anyway, I'm going to have to shower when I go home, even though I already showered. Make sure there's no ticks on me. So, as you can see with how I'm speaking, there are many, many things that we know as a society. There are many, many things that we know as a collective community, as a collective society of human beings. But the 100% truth of certain things is not known. Only the surface has been scratched. We are only on the cusp of the truth. There is more unknown than what is known. And so on my channel, we are going to talk about these things. Boy, do I take forever to get to a point. I really do. Oh, and my other joke is this. I'm fifth dimension. I take forever to get to a point. My point is like in layers. I stack my point. Finally, when I get to the point, all the pieces kind of like belong in there. I'm on the trail by myself, and I'm like, first of all, I had taken over both sides of the trail. I was on the other side in the sun, which I'm going back to sit in the sun so I can finish writing what I'm working on. I'm working on a Facebook page. It's nothing about this channel. It's historical. It's not about the channel. It's about outdoors. Big time outdoorsy girl. Big time. I love hiking and swimming and backpacking and camping. And drinking whiskey on the river. Okay, wait, let's skip that. Okay, let's get back to business. Back to business. So on this channel, in the realms of pseudo, we are going to talk about untouched science, untouched scientific theory, untouched theory. Put in the comments whatever you wish. Of course, always respectful. But I mean, whatever theories, whatever you like, whatever it reminds you of, if you resonate with any of the ideas, like, freedom of speech is supposed to be a First Amendment. Post in the comments. I would love to hear what you think. If any of this resonates with you, if it touches a part of you, put it. We are officially, once you subscribe, you are officially part of the crazy tribe. Yes, if you have reached the end of this video, I don't know. Okay, I got one more last closing thought, and it's actually so validating. If you stood at the end of this video, you are officially part of the crazy tribe, and you need to subscribe now, right now, so I don't lose you, okay? One of my friends years ago, she was like an acquaintance, and I had never heard this before. She was actually a hiking friend, like acquaintance that I met through one of my groups. She was like, you know what? You're a little outrageous. You know what? And she said, guys like that. And I'm like, no, they don't. They don't. She's like, no, they do. Because you're a little outrageous. Little outrageous. And I swear I thought about that for over a year. I was like, a little outrageous. Because I had never heard that in my life. I would say I was kind of kooky or nutsy, or I would say I'm crazy. Well, I'm actually not crazy. I'm very sane. But the way she put it, that I'm a little outrageous, I'm like, yeah, I'm okay with it. I like that. It felt so validating. It felt so validating. It's like when you find your tribe, right? You know, they're like you, whatever they are. Maybe they're quite nerdy. Maybe they like science. Maybe they like to watch movies on a rainy day and stay inside. Maybe they want to be on the river camping. Maybe they want to be at the music festival with you. Maybe they're one of your first friends on the dance floor. I have a friend like that. Her bestie, she was like, if I go out, my best friend is with me right there on the dance floor if she's not the first one. She was like, she's either the first one or her best friend's the first one. That's a bestie. They're like on the same spectrum. Crazy. Cray-cray tribe. So, my point is this. Yeah, welcome to the crazy tribe. The not so crazy. Where we skipped, this is my joke, I'm fifth dimension. I skipped second and third and went straight to fifth. So thank you for watching thus far. We have a lot to talk about. We have a lot to talk about. And so about the guy on the photo of pseudoscience books that has electrical stickers attached to him. Can a human being conduct electricity or emit electricity? Yes, it's a proven scientific fact. Not that they should ever do that to a human. Who knows how they figured out that we conduct electricity? There's no telling how that started. I think like clearly it started in the form of pseudoscience. Like I don't agree with any of those experiments done on humans. I really don't. I really, really don't. But hey, it's 2025. What's done has been done. We can only like understand it, contemplate it, and have a conviction. Make a conviction, develop a conviction. Okay, we got here. Like, thank you for the science, but you didn't need to do that to human beings. I'm very against human beings being hurt. The human body is mortal. It's actually also very fragile. I mean, that can even be argued if you want to argue both sides of the conundrum. The human is very resilient. The body is very, very resilient. They say the human bone is stronger than steel, isn't it? Pound for pound, inch for inch, isn't it? Stronger than metal? Like, I don't know the exact... If anyone knows that, put that in the comments. The exact comparison. The human bone is quite resilient, quite reparative. But it also is at the same time very fragile. It's because we are mortal. We're not metal. We're not metal. We're not wood. We're not inanimate objects. We are not meant to be broken or damaged or hurt or experimented on. Wow, I actually got to point out without going into like 5 different spider webs of ideas. So I appreciate you guys. I appreciate every last single one of you. I might make a shorter video, another video on what is pseudoscience. But this video is going to be why I am... There's flies. I'm sitting in the grass. I'm going to go back in the sun. But this video is why I'm naming my channel In the Realms of Pseudo. We will definitely be in the realms of pseudo. No fake science. No fake science. We want to talk about the truth. So have a wonderful day, guys. I need to finish my journey on this trail. No one has come down. I've been here like an hour. No one's come down. I doubt they will. Bye, peoples. See you later. Later, haters.